thank you for checking out this edition of R&R's Ask the Expert. I am joined today by somebody that many of you probably already recognize from R&R. It is Anissa Coy. She is the brain power behind Firehouse Education. She does the Ask Anissa columns constantly with R&R. She does monthly articles in R&R magazine. So we are going to talk today more about coronavirus cleaning, and we're going to get a little bit more technical and talk about kind of the contents cleaning side of this. So I'm going to toss it right over to Anissa and ask if should contents be something that's considered when companies are going in and doing cleaning for coronavirus?
Hi, Michelle. Hey, it's great to see your beautiful face. And thank you so much for having me here. Today is actually day 19. For anybody that's wondering, that Anissa has not been next to another human being except for her husband. So thank goodness I live on the beach. That's all I can say, people, or I don't know how well I would be doing. Absolutely, Michelle. That's a wonderful question. I'm so happy that you're addressing contents in this situation right now, because I'm seeing a lot on social media in different areas, about doing the work and the cleaning and cleaning walls and touch points and light switches and door handles. But absolutely, contents are very important right now. I mean, if you just think about, a daycare, if you think about an office building where there's multiple cubicles and or offices, think of the contents that are there that really need to be addressed, because what is it that if we touch a door handle and a light switch quite often during the day, or many times, how often do you think we touch the water cooler, or we touch the stapler, or how many times we touch the copy machine? It's kind of mind-boggling, and you almost realize that, in my opinion, and I'm not saying structure obviously is not important, but you almost start to go, wow, are contents even more critical here, in this moment? So it's a super great question, and one that I'm really glad that you asked. And it's, not, contents is not a what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a specialty that a lot of restoration companies do, and so this is really going to be a time where, hopefully they definitely do know how to handle those contents as well, because it is definitely different than structure.
Yeah. Okay. So are there any innovative ways that contractors can think about cleaning some larger items like wheelchairs and things like that really need to be well cleaned, but are a little bit more cumbersome and lots of little pieces?
Yeah. Actually, we've got one of the coolest pieces of technology in our industry for contents that I absolutely love and couldn't live without, is an ultrasonic machine. Ultrasonic is amazing what it can do. The only tricky thing is, right now, it's kind of hard for us to use ultrasonic in this circumstance. And here's why. An ultrasonic machine, for those that aren't familiar, it runs on 220. And it's a wonderful but good-sized heavy piece of equipment. You need to have water to fill it and a drain ability, which wouldn't be so hard to figure out. But the power part's would be a huge challenge. So the reason I'm even talking about that is usually when we do contents in ultrasonic, what do? We pack them up, take them back to our warehouse, where our ultrasonic machine has all been wired in and plumbed in and ready to go. Well, in this instance, that would not be something I would be recommending. I would advise highly against packing up someone's contents at this point and taking it to your facility. The contamination trail would be astronomical, right? So not a lot of contractors who even have ultrasonic machines have the ability to just load up this heavy piece of equipment, roll it on into somebody's office building or daycare, and then plug it into 220 and put water in it and go. So unfortunately, that's not a huge thing that we can use. However, there is the technology of hydroxyl, which is amazing. I've been using the Odorox Boss in my company since 2009. Love that machine. They have just come out with some white papers, Odorox did, that's amazing, that talks about the machine in relation and what it can do in testing that they did on the machine for the coronavirus. So I would highly recommend anyone go to Odorox's website and download that information. I want to make sure that you know that using an a hydroxyl machine is not in place of cleaning. You still need to clean. Okay, this is something to help you, since we're not really able to bring an ultrasonic machine out, which would be the amazing thing to clean, like, you know, telephones and the staplers and the keyboards, right? Like, we can't get to all of those places with a wet clean without an ultrasonic. So the hydroxyl machine would be something that you could use to help make sure that you're getting your job done thoroughly. But you want to make sure that the machine you're using produces the hydroxyl. Okay, so definitely want to check that out. And Odorox has an amazing bunch of information on their website about that. So did I answer your question, Michelle? I think we.
You did. You did.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, you did. You answered it very well. Yes. Ultrasonics and hydroxyls. Yes, we got it. So, all right. So we were talking about trying to not cross-contaminate and spread germs. So what kind of process do you recommend for trying to get all of these contents and structures cleaned from on-site?
Yeah. Well, that's a big, heavy question. So I will just say a few of the things that come right to mind. If you're going to be doing like a fogger, that you're doing application in the building, you're going to want to be covering like vents. Okay. I would do that myself anyway, regardless, just because it helps to contain an area. If you're in a large building that has multiple office suites, if you're only working in one of the office suites, I wouldn't want the other areas potentially even to contaminate me. Okay. This is definitely a huge time where, you know, if you haven't had a containment class, you need to be looking into getting one ASAP, if you can. And hopefully you have your containment skills are really, really down. The other thing that I would personally not do at all is transport someone's contents back to my facility to clean. I really, really, really want to caution you right now. The other thing that you have to think about is, contents as it relates to COVID and coronavirus are one thing, but what about if we go in right now and someone has a fire in their house and we get called in to handle the contents? So right now, I would be definitely super happy that I have my mobile cleaning unit, because I would be doing it on site with my ultrasonics and my hydroxyl and everything, right? But if you're packing that back to your warehouse, you really need to stop and think about, do you just want to treat this as if it is contaminated with the virus? Because to be very honest, you guys, you don't know. It can live for days, maybe even upward 17 days on hard surfaces. So this is where you may need to be thinking of using negative air. By the way, if you're in a multiple office location or like a multiple suites and you're only handling one of the office building suites, let's say on like a floor, then yeah, negative air would be something I'd be looking at, as well as the proper containment. But we really have to think about contents processing right now for everybody in the industry. If you're bringing this stuff, doing a pack out and bringing it back to your warehouse, you need to make sure that you are doing proper PPE for your crew. You need to be sure that you're donning and doffing correctly. You need to make sure that you have a decontamination chamber, so you're not bringing this back into your rigs, your vehicles, and then transporting it right back to your office. So yeah, there's some kind of unique concerns in place right now that you need to think about with that.
Okay. So you did mention a few no-nos that you wouldn't do. Do you have any other no-nos for handling contents during this, or do you cover them? What do you think?
Oh, I did. I mean, there's like guys, I mean, there's a lot of things out there. Couple of things I'd like to mention is definitely you need to be very clear about your wording, not only in your marketing for your contents right now, but in what you are telling your clients that you will do, results you will get. There's some big stuff out there, you guys. I would recommend that everyone go to FTC FDA's website and go look up what is actually illegal. They have a form set up, and I read it on actually one of my Ask Anissa videos a couple of weeks ago about what's illegal to say in relation to this virus in your marketing, or you can be in big trouble with the FTC. Another thing that I would say, a big no-no that I would really want to caution someone is, if you don't normally do contents, this is not the time to change lanes, okay? This is not the time to change lanes. Meaning if you do not have proper training and know the processes and the procedures and that have the SOPs and the chain of command set up in processing your contents, especially when you're dealing with what we're dealing with this virus, you guys, we call this, at least I call this, a clean in place, okay? So it's no pack out. There's a different set of SOPs. There's a different set chain of command, if you will, on handling something. And you have to really know what you're doing properly in your steps so you properly decontaminate and don't wind up recontaminating after you've already cleaned. So it's tricky, all right? So if this is not already a lane you've been riding in, I would not suggest switching lanes at this point. And if you don't normally do contents, I would definitely recommend that you get some training on it, because as you can see in this kind of a situation, you know, it's really something that all restoration companies should have a knowledge of. I believe contents are a very, very important part of what we do. So yeah, I would definitely say to, you know, training obviously is huge right now for everybody, I think in a lot of arenas, but yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, Anissa, anything else to add before we wrap it up?
Oh, just stay safe out there, you guys. This is such a tough time for every one of us. And I just personally want every one of you to know that's out there in the field right now doing all of this. You guys are the heroes out there right now. You're helping people who literally are petrified and don't know what to do. They don't know where to turn. So be sure that you wear that armor well. Be sure that you keep yourself and your team safe, and be sure that you are, you know, being there for your client. That's the reason why we do this. It's why we're in this industry. We are the knight in shining armor. And I just want to thank every one of you for leaving your families and going out there and doing that right now. And I just hope that you stay blessed and stay safe.
So well said. All right. Thank you, Anissa. And to those of you watching this video, thank you for checking it out. You can see Anissa's other video, or it was an Ask Anissa video column that she also did on coronavirus probably about a week and a half ago. It's on R&R's website and also on our Facebook page and on her YouTube channel and our YouTube channel. You can totally find it. She has amazing tips more on the business side of things that you need to be aware of. Since we talked a little bit more technical in this video, she talks more business side in that. So be sure to check that out. Be sure to watch for future Ask Anissa video columns every week on our website. And thanks for checking out this video. Stay safe, everyone.